So today I was looking at the brake cables, and you see how it's kind of degraded right there, and then back here there's some problems here with the cables, and these cables are old, so I'm going to go ahead and replace those and kind of try to figure out what to do with these handlebars. I've got a 1x and I've got to put a different, I want to put a different brake lever over there. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is cut off this old bar tape. And you know, bar tape, people get a little excited about it, but it's actually not that hard to replace. I think I've done a video on it in the past. And it's a good idea to replace it every few years just to get a new look on your bike, but also new bar tape, just so much easier on your hands. So I just, you know, see how I turned up the brake rubber there so I can get at it. And then, yeah, I thought I was going to have to cut it, but it doesn't even look like I have to cut it. I can just start peeling it off. When you get down to the end, of course you've got your bar end. This one actually has a Phillips screw in it, so just going to unscrew it and pop it right out, and then get the last of the bar tape off. Alright, there it is. Clean, fresh handlebar. This one's interesting. It's got a little cable guide in it. I've never used these. You don't see stuff like that anymore. Usually just put the cable right underneath the bar tape and away it goes. Alright, so next I want to just slide this modern lever off. So the modern levers, you just open up this edge, there's a little indentation right there, and you just slide your hex wrench in there. And I didn't tighten this one up very tight when I put it on, so you just loosen the bolt in there and it comes loose, and you can slide it off. I guess it helps if you put the rubber up, and you can slide it off the handlebar if you've got it loose enough. Oh, well, that was loose enough, wasn't it? I didn't mean to do that, but it's also one way you can do it. And if you look in there, there's just the back side of the bolt, and it's this one just threads right on. There, okay, it's back with it. So the brake cable is what I want to remove, so I've got it off here. Now I have to go to the other end of the bike. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is just remove this cable. So this one's a 5mm hex. Just loosen that. And normally on the end of the brake cable there's a ferrule, but this one doesn't have one. So I'm just going to loosen that up and slide it out. And we can pull it out from the front. Okay, so now I'm at the front of the shifter, and I can just slide the housing out, and the cable will come all the way out. There's the cable. And then to get the cable completely out, because this cable's old, I'm going to replace it with a new one. Just put your brake lever forward, and you see in there, there's the cable. Just reach in there and slide it right out. Pretty simple stuff. The end of this cable's kind of messed up, so maybe I'll pull it back through this way. There. So there's the old cable housing. Seen better days. Alright guys, so I find, here's the old cable off, and I find the best way to measure the new cable is just, if the old cable is the correct length, just take the old one, line it up with the new one, and cut it off at the same length. It just makes sense. And then just make sure, yeah, I can feel a sharp edge right there. I just need to hit that with a file to make sure it's nice and smooth. So guys, threading the brake cable is never easy, so you have to, so I noticed I put it in backwards, so I'm going to flip this around, and then I'm just going to slide it in. Just kind of work it until it finds its way. And then, you see there it comes out the side. That's where I want it to come out. So now I just need to thread it through. Alright guys, so I got it threaded through. Now I'm just going to start the housing on. Slide the housing up in there till it seats. Hopefully, yeah, there it seats. And then just push the cable through. And at some point I want to start putting grease on this cable. The cable is new, and I'm going to thread it through there like this, but as I go I got a little grease on my finger, and I just want to put a little grease on the cable, and it'll get the inside of the housing all full of lubricant, and it'll help seal out moisture, which is good. It should help the cable to last a long time. So we'll just keep greasing it up and sliding it through. Alright guys, so before I go back together with everything, I decided to put this black stem. It's adjustable. I went with the black because the silver stem just doesn't go with the rest of the theme. So I'm going to remove this old quill stem, and there's a bit of a trick to this. I just wanted to show you. It's nothing extravagant. You just loosen up the bolt there. Oops. And then to get it the rest of the way off, what I find is this crack here. If you keep it on the inside of the bend and then go around and see how it's on the inside of the bend, it comes off. Because if you try to go to the outside, it just doesn't work. So keep it on the inside and it comes right off. Alright guys, so I've got the stem in, I got the bars set, I put the brake levers back on and kind of set them temporarily where I want them. I have to go ride it to kind of figure out where they really need to be. I'm going to go back on with these. I've never really installed these before, but I wanted to keep them with the bike because they came with it, and so just trying to get them lined up, it's been kind of a trick. I'm using the electrical tape here and just trying to get them set to where they'll be useful. Somehow they're interesting, I'll say that. Alright, and so just kind of got them wrapped. I want to keep them down a little bit lower, so when you grip the bar like this, it's kind of at a lower level than straight out. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how it works. Shouldn't be too bad. I mean, it's tedious stuff, and this is the stuff when you're working on bikes you just gotta figure out, okay, how can I do this? How can I do this without like going crazy? But it's all doable. I mean, this isn't hard by any stretch. It's tricky maybe, but it's not hard. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, guys, and then I'll show you where we're at. Alright, guys, so here's the guides installed. I've got them down a little bit so when my hands are on it, the bend here catches them just so. I like that. I've got the bars kind of adjusted where I want them. I need to go ride the bike now to really figure out how I'm gonna, go forward. I don't want to put bar tape on just yet because I want to get everything just right. Like I may want to move these brake levers up or down, and you don't want to have bar tape on when you do that. So I set them in the spot they're in now, and I just need to ride it and see if that's where I want to keep it. Also, the stem is adjustable. I may want to adjust it up or down. So I need to go ride it, but unfortunately the weather outside is looking like this. So it might be a few days before I can ride. The streets are full of salt and this bike is just too nice to be riding like that. So we'll have to wait a little while, but I'll get to it, guys, and then we'll put some bar tape on it and see how it looks. Thanks for watching.